The year was 1775. Tensions between the British and the colonists were high. A series of events had occurred that would soon push them over the edge to war. And now, this series of events would lead to 8 years of war, in which crucial battles would determine the fate of democracy in the New World.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear. Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. In preparation for the British arrival in Boston, Paul Revere and William Dawes awaited the signal from the Old North Church as to how the British would be arriving. One if by land, two if by sea. After seeing 2 lanterns, they set off to warn the surrounding towns and villages. In 2 of these towns, Lexington and Concord, Samuel Adams and John Hancock were warned of the impending attack. As the British approached the Minutemen assembled at Lexington, it became clear that neither side would retreat without a fight. As the intensity of the standoff increased, there was a shot heard round the world. Neither side knew who had fired the first shot, and both began to attack, leading to a hasty colonist retreat. Inspired by their victory, the British marched on to Concord. There, they met with a little more resistance and were driven into a retreat. The British march back to Boston was marked by heavy casualties due to colonial rifles.
The Continentals had assembled a force in occupied Boston. The British advanced on the colonist position at the top of Bunker Hill. 2 times the British charged the Americans on the hill. By the 3rd charge, the colonial ammunition stores had been severely depleted, and they had no choice but to evacuate. Due to miscommunications before the battle, all surplus ammunition had incorrectly been sent to the nearby Breed's Hill. Although the battle ended as a British victory, the high number of British casualties and relatively low numbers for Americans inspired hope throughout the fledgling nation.
Under the able command of Benedict Arnold, a colonial force led an assault under the cover of night on the Canadian fortress of Ticonderoga. This attack netted the Americans valuable cannons and armaments that would prove crucial later in the war, and also impeded communications between the northern and southern units of the British Army.
Under the command of Henry Knox, an amateur military commander and former bookseller, the Continental Army positioned themselves in Dorchester Heights, overlooking Boston Harbor. From there, they fired the cannons captured at Fort Ticonderoga at the British fleet, forcing their retreat from the northeast.
In retaliation to Howe's forced retreat from Boston, he attacked Washington, the colonial commercial capital of New York. After quickly abandoning the city, Washington was pushed out onto Long Island. Realizing the vulnerability of his position, he amassed as many boats as he could and retreated in the dead of night under the powdered noses of the British officers.
With Continental morale low, Washington was in need of a victory. This victory would come in the form of a merciless slaughter of drunken Hessians on Christmas Day. Washington led his troops across the Delaware River into Trenton, New Jersey. The swift victory provided a much-needed boost in morale and encouraged enlistment for the following year. This was also Washington's first major victory of the campaign.